You even ready to shake this rust off?
Oh, and it's rusty, but yeah.
Here we go.
Sure.
Yeah. Welcome back after I didn't realize it's been over a year to
It's
Rinkside podcast, little new format.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I was looking back at I didn't know if our stuff would still even be showing up in like Spotify and all that, and it is. And I didn't realize it was
Amazing.
December of last year. I moved. Well, you moved too.
Yeah,
And
moved.
then
Yeah, there was moving, and then the world collapsed.
yeah, it's pretty much what happened. Like we were like, well,
Yeah,
take a couple weeks off while we get everything set up and organized, and then we couldn't hang out and see anyone, and I didn't have the technological skills at the time to set something up at a distance, but I think we figured it out.
Mhm.
So
yeah. Hopefully,
yeah, you got the notes that I sent you, right?
maybe. Where did you?
I sent it to you on Discord.
Oh, and then yes, yeah.
So I kind of went off the notes that you gave when we tried getting things going when the league started back up, but
Mm-hmm.
life has been kind of crazy. So anything new with your life other than the world sucking?
Not really. Just kind of. It's been working from home. I don't know. Just trying to, keep it together
Yeah,
as best I can, just like everybody else.
I hear you there.
Yeah, pretty static.
Yeah.
Pretty not exciting, but better days ahead for us all, hopefully.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. God, I hope it doesn't get worse.
So, right. But something that's hopefully going to get better is quality of the content that we're delivering now that we're putting video out. To quote a very not great guy, we're doing it live.
Doing it live. Yeah, he still exists, which is too bad,
Yeah.
but
So at least for the time being, we're gonna do some things live on Twitch. We're just starting today, so I'm sure we're not gonna have many in terms of viewers and things like that yet. But we'll be able to get some people in the chat and actually having conversations live, which I think will be pretty fun and just kind of different from a lot of other podcasts that are out there.
I'm fine with no one being here for a minute because it's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah.
I've been on Discord a whole lot, but not doing. I've been on Discord with like my gamer buddies being a complete pig. So I have to remember to not just burp on cam because normally it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's you got to put on your pretty face too.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I don't know where that went.
Here's how basic I've become. I have a ring light on my desk now. So
very cool.
Gotta look pretty for the meetings.
I'm hashtag blessed. One of the few things about this room, which is my sister's old room, is that the lighting in here is actually really good.
Oh, you've got that nice window.
Yeah, I have a wall that's basically just a window. It's actually, the window extends up above the wall somehow. So the ceiling's here, and then there's a cutout and 4 more feet of window, and then all window. So the lighting in here is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm in my basement.
And
everything was great until I started streaming in the middle of the day. And we have those weird block basement windows. And they're right above my desk and blinding. I have 4 24 packs, the 24 packs of Pepsi, the boxes just flattened, angled out over our ceiling and driving that light upwards because otherwise it was just blinding.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we should probably talk about the Red Wings.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
A lot has changed, and also not much.
Well,
at all.
As they say, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
You're right.
Honestly, we could just replay all the old episodes, and the same problems are still here. I mean, there's more positive things, but none of the problems have been solved. There's just been like some good things added.
Yep.
All of the bad things are still here, though.
I thought it was really funny looking at when we were talking about like relaunching a few months ago, back when the season started up. One of the things on your notes said, Blashill is showing good coach potential.
For like 2 games. Like, I was like, okay. And then I firmly disagree with that now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. I think really the reason that you had that on there was because he had our top 6 players on our top 2 forward lines.
Yeah, and then Bert got hurt, and that completely fell apart. Like the next.
Oh yeah, and it's just shuffle everything.
Day, he started throwing Helm on the top line.
Well, you want to feel real bad? I know we're going to talk about waivers in a bit.
I already do, so go for it.
I know we're going to talk about waivers in a bit, but guess who's practicing on the top forward line with Larkin and Mantha?
Please. So there's several bad answers. The best of those bad answers is Filppula, but is it?
It's Franz Nielsen.
I knew it. That was the worst answer. I knew it. I knew that's what it was.
It would have been a great answer like 3 or 4 years ago.
Maybe. How long have we had him now?
A while.
At his best with the Red Wings, he has not been very, very noticeable on the ice. And that, when we first got him, that wasn't always a bad thing because he would get assists, and he was fairly, he was kind of still a decent 2-way player. So like. He wasn't a liability.
Right.
But since then, like the last 2 seasons, man, I mean, he just gets beat all the time.
Right. I think he's a really smart player. I don't think I think he's old. Like, I think that's a really,
He's definitely a smart player because I saw him do something this season that I was kind of shocked he did. He had the puck, he was going up the left side, and I forget who we were playing. I want to say maybe it was one of the Tampa games, but they're guys. There's 2 guys coming around the ice, and I'm like, well, they're just gonna take the puck from him,
right,
and just go back into our zone. But he brought it against the board so that the first guy coming around couldn't get it, and then he just poked it through the second guy's legs and went around him.
Yeah.
And broke into the zone, and I was just stunned. I was like, whoa. Because it was Nielsen. I mean, our younger guys, I kind of expect that. Zadina, Zadina, Larkin, man, that's how they get into the zone almost every time. But, because the rest of the team is never, whoever has the puck, there's never anybody else even close to, get in the way of other players. So I've noticed this season that, and I don't know why, every time whoever, if the Wings have the puck, whoever has the puck has 2 or 3 guys on them, and there's no help.
Yeah,
everyone else is on the other side of the ice waiting for them to pass. When our passing is terrible.
It's not just that there's
no
help.
Never seen so many
that's the problem. The Wings are terrible when it comes to their assignments. That there can be 3 people on one guy, and if they get they just get rid of it, and it goes more often than not to the other team. Last night there was we had a 4-on-2. The Wings did.
Yep.
Completely choked because of a missed assignment, and there wasn't anyone even on them. And then it turned into a break for Nashville, and they should have scored. I don't know how that coach's challenge ended up going through, but
yeah, I saw that, and I was just, and when I was glad that it was called back, but if I was being very honest, that was not goaltender interference.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. It incidental
his
contact, I think, but
it was incidental contact. But then it was still like a couple seconds, and one of our players, like I think Nemeth, like skated into him after that. It wasn't, and no one pushed him. He just like didn't stop hard enough. And Bernier was like kind of out, like out of the crease a bit.
Yep.
I was like if I was Nashville, I would have been pissed. Because I would have been like, no, that was definitely a goal.
Peter in the chat, I know you don't care about hockey. I'm glad you're here though. Appreciate it. Should we talk about waivers and how it's just annoying? Like, it's waking up seeing that, the most relieving thing ever. Both DeKaiser and Nielsen were waived over this last week.
Yeah.
But then start on their top lines the next game.
Here's a question. Maybe I just don't know enough about all of the processes, but can Blashill waive someone, or is that
it's
an Yzerman? Okay, so
decision.
So then is Yzerman trying to give, is Yzerman trying to give a signal to Blashill, and Blashill's just ignoring him?
I don't know. That's
what I don't understand. Yzerman's waving guys, and then Blashill's just like, yeah, but they're still gonna play. It's like, or maybe Yzerman's trying to be like, hey, bud, they shouldn't be playing.
I would be very surprised if they weren't making these decisions together. Like I know Yzerman he has the final say, but I can't believe I don't believe Yzerman would make a decision without at least running it by Blashill, or if Blashill had a concern with him, at least bringing it up to Steve. That
would be
if they couldn't make those decisions together, then Blashill wouldn't be here, because a coach and a GM have to have that working relationship.
I don't know what a coach needs to do anymore though, because I just don't see how Blashill still has a job, and Claude Julien was fired today.
Yep.
Montreal's not even they're not even bad right now.
They're not.
They're not leading the table. They're running the table, but I mean they have
a winning record.
They're a couple games back from.
They're 9-5-4. They're only 8 points from Toronto, who's in first.
Yeah, and Toronto has more games. They have more games played. So
do they? I've been doing a bad job of paying attention to games played, because it's never really mattered until this year.
Yeah, but it now it matters in a big way.
Oh yeah, because of COVID. Who knows how everything's gonna end up working out?
This is Lando, and he is clearly doesn't get enough attention.
No, I can tell. I had a feeling when you first jumped on before we started, he was sleeping there. I was like, oh, you know what that means? He's gonna be waking up and be a bundle of excitement, ready to play with Dad. When Dad's not ready to play.
Oh, it's always the case.
Oh, I know.
Him, and then of course Rigby, are probably going to be menaces. And if I have to step away for a moment, we'll see. I'm just ignoring them.
I've gotten really good at just rambling in front of my camera lately, so
perfect.
It's been fun. But yeah, like I said earlier, Ansar Khan reported this morning or he posted on Twitter a picture from practice, and Nielsen was on the top line practicing with Larkin and Mantha, which in theory, Larkin and Mantha will make Nielsen look better, but that requires Mantha to be operating on 100%, and that's a whole other topic. He's been just inconsistent, and I don't know.
You're right. There's a catch to what you said, because you're right.
I'm always right.
Oh yeah, obviously. Larkin and Mantha will make Nielsen look better, but at the same time, he's also going to drag them down a bit. They're going to have to play down to him.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to be it's going to be a weird split with the Nielsen's going to be by himself half the time doing.
I do wonder if that will help. I don't think Larkin and Mantha are ones in particular that this applies to, but I think a lot of the team actually needs to slow down their game and be thoughtful about what they're doing, because this is why we're having so many missed assignments. But I wonder if that will help with that at all. I don't know, man.
But do they? Or do they do they just need to get better at playing fast? And
no, they do.
It's
but
gonna
I don't
look
think
sloppy, right?
I don't think they're gonna get better at playing quickly until they can play well at a slower pace. That takes repetition, and they don't have a lot of practice time. But
yeah, but oh man, I don't know, because at this point for me, every time there's like, well, I guess at this point, what do we have to lose? That's my big thing here. It's like the team's already clearly demoralized.
Yeah.
And so like, what are we trying to do here? It's like when Nielsen and Helm are played above like Hiroshi and Smith. Why? Doesn't.
Part of me is now like I went from being really optimistic about the season to feeling that Yzerman's just letting some of these people play out their contracts, and it's another intentional tank year. Mm-hmm. And because even he was talking at the Detroit Economic Club the other day when they had their luncheon, or he was saying how he's I mean, I got the impression that he's not happy with where they're at, but happy with the progress that's been made. So it's just painful as a fan. It's weird seeing like some people that even like work for the Red Wings, like
I don't want Hiroshi and Smith playing because I want to make playoffs this year. Like, I want this team to win this year. I know that's not going to happen. That's not why I want them to play.
Right.
Like, I want them to play because they need NHL ice time. They need time on the ice in the NHL and not anywhere else. And sitting on the taxi squad now, like, I don't think that helps their development. I don't see it. And so at this point too, even if nothing changes as far as our record, if they're playing, again, it's like, that's fine. That's not what I'm expecting. I don't know, as a fan, like, it's like, yeah, I knew we were going to be bad this year. Mm-hmm. But you're not playing the future of the team.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when you do, I think the Red Wings are actually noticeably better.
I agree. I think
there's way more scoring chances. Like, just Smith's presence on the ice, like, it reminds me of like Darren McCarty. Like, he has offensive moves. He can make plays happen, but also, like, guys are gonna think twice before they go and hit Zadina from behind into the boards when the ref isn't looking. Like, they're gonna think twice about that, because they know if they do it, like, Smith has no problem just waylaying. Like, just like, hey, he's gonna take care of it right there.
He's gonna be our next.
No one else on the team does that right now.
Ryan Reeves, except he can play too.
Yeah,
he's not just
that's why. Well, that's why he kind of reminds me of like a McCarty back in the day. Yeah. Is that McCarty, like, he would fight anybody.
He's a grinder.
No problem doing that. And he could score goals. He had hat tricks. He could make plays happen.
I do think
I'm not at the same level as
best,
Fedorov, but like,
right. Oh no,
and like, he can still score.
He has a lot of room to develop, but I still think at his best, ideally when the Wings are decent again, he's a fourth liner.
Yeah.
But he should be playing now.
That's fine.
Because
I mean, you still need you still need solid guys on the fourth line. Like, that's something too. It's like, when we're discussing like prospects, I think everyone's like, every like hockey fan's guilty of this, especially if they're not like a top line or top two line guy, they're kind of dismissed as like, oh, well, then it's like, oh, well, they're not going to be on the top line. So it's like, right, but you have 4 lines and you need to fill them out. You need more than 2 good lines. So if we have a solid fourth line guy, great, that's fantastic. Well, yeah, he's not going to play top. That's fine. we still need people on those lines that are capable. And right now we don't have that.
Are you ready for a lot? Are you ready for a lot of hope for next year?
I don't know about a lot. I have a little bit of hope, but okay, a lot of hope. Let's hear it.
Our UFAs at the end of this season. Helm.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Who probably won't be back, I would assume.
I don't think so, no.
Filppula.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back.
Nope. Glendening could.
Glendening might be. I could see that.
Another one who I think, as long as they're not completely demoralized and don't get a better deal, Bobby Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he's probably my the happiest pickup.
I would actively like him back.
Yeah. I don't see coming back, but maybe Sam Gagne.
Yeah, he's getting old.
Someone who I think we should use as trade bait immediately, but no one probably wants him right now. I don't know. Some analysts think that they would. Mark Stahl.
Heard this.
Man, that did not work out for us.
Because
but we got some picks. We got some picks, we could get more picks for dealing them.
And if that happens, then kind of good job.
Yeah.
I like if you could get like even like a third or fourth for him.
Another one.
Fantastic.
We have. I'm just over halfway through the list. We still have more. Nemeth, who has just kind of been there. He's a defensive defenseman.
He is.
So that's why he's not as noticeable to a lot of people.
Except for that snipe the other night. It was crazy.
It was wonderful.
I was like that's not Zadina. What are you doing?
John Merrill.
John Merrill's actually he's been pretty decent this season.
Yeah.
Like he's at least exceeded expectations.
Oh, I would be surprised to see if we do a lot with our defensive core. Other than figuring out how to get rid of DeKaiser a year early. And who knows, maybe they buy him out. Who knows? Still on the list, 3 more. Biega, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's already he hardly
lives
plays
in a taxi right now.
Yeah, for sure. And he should.
Calvin Pickard, I don't see anyone re-signing him or probably even taking him, except unless we get like a real low pick. Or a real high pick, I guess. Low pick.
No, it would be. You're not going to get more than a 4th or 5th for him. I mean, he's
barely.
He's a really solid
Yeah,
he's a really solid AHL goalie. He's just he's certainly not a starting NHL goalie. That's all.
You know who I think can bring us the biggest return at the deadline? The last one, Jonathan Bernier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Jonathan Bernier he's like good.
It's interesting because the deadline should be now, but it's not a normal season.
No, it's because of course it's not a normal season. But when is the trade deadline this year?
April 12th.
April 12th.
I know.
It seems late.
That's
so late. Like even
the
for this season,
normally done. For us as of late.
Because trade deadline is usually what
right around now.
Right around now, which is right at just over halfway through the season.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit.
We're about halfway through the season. I mean, I think there's teams who have played 23 games.
Yeah.
20. So we're just. But April 12th, that's going to be the season's going to be 3/4 of the way through.
I think part of the reason for it is what is going to the biggest wrench that goes into the trade deadline is the issue with COVID, where some people are going to have to quarantine. Who knows if some people are going to have trouble if they get traded to the North Division, if they have to hop the border, and how big of a process that will end up being. It could be crazy, but I think Bernier we could get a lot for. Which sucks. I feel so bad for Thomas Greiss. We have him another year after this year, but man, he is a good goalie with the worst team in front of him.
He is, and that's the thing too. Is people I've watched games with people who haven't really been paying attention to like they've sort of been paying attention to the wings,
right?
But definitely haven't been paying attention to like NHL at large. So they've seen Grice this season, like, oh, this guy's terrible. I'm like, no, this guy is not terrible.
Right.
This team is bad. This is a good. I was actually excited we got him. I was like, dang, we got Grice because there's a whole bunch of goalies out there. We knew the Red Wings had to sign one. Like, we didn't have an option. We had
right.
To.
It was well, especially. Can you imagine if we didn't and Bernier got hurt like he did?
Right. Oh,
like we would have been. Oh my God, we would not have. You think we're not presentable now?
Yeah. Oh, like Yzerman would have had to like give the team COVID so they would miss like 2 weeks. Like you'd have been like, yeah, well, they all got positive tests. That's weird. Like all of them, like
every single one.
Yeah, they were all in a hot tub together in like a COVID. It was weird. I told them not to, but they did anyways. What are you gonna do? I don't know what he would have had to done to like.
It would have been bad.
Because we would have got lit up like 7-2, like we have a couple times, but every game. Like, it would have been every game. For like 2 weeks, 3, it would have been terrible. And I do feel bad for Grice because he's just gotten shelled this season. He's played well. But
I think he's made better saves than Bernier. Like he's had some more like highlight reel saves, but
he's had like some more skillful play than Bernier has. But boy, the team, I don't know what their deal is. Like since we've gotten Bernier, they like only feel comfortable in front of him, which isn't saying much.
Well, think about it too. Like imagine how Grice, I feel like the way he had to be thinking about approaches to games is just completely different because he was behind the Islanders.
They were tearing it up.
They were.
Like, that was a good team for a while, and I think they might still be a good team.
Oh
yeah. They're they're in it. They're in the thick of it, and maybe he didn't know what he was getting himself into in Detroit. He was like, well, they'll pay me, and how bad can it be?
Yeah.
And then
he signed me up for 2 years.
He's on the ice, and he's like, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, I remember he was pulled one game, and you could see he was frustrated. I was like, I mean, every goalie that gets pulled is frustrated, but this one, I'm like, I don't think he's frustrated with himself. Like some goalies, when they get pulled, they're like, oh, like they're frustrated with themselves. So like,
you know what game really I watched the other day?
What?
2002 Game 7 against the Avs.
We got Patrick Waugh pulled for the.
Yep.
Was that like the second time in his career?
I don't know, but I know he had never been pulled in a Game 7 before, and.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, not in a Game 7. I think he was pulled in. Or no, was it he wanted to be pulled in Montreal, and that's what made him leave?
Yeah.
He just got lit up, and they wouldn't pull him. And he
coincidentally, against the Red Wings. So, yeah, that was fun.
You hate to see it.
No, I love it. Actually, though, what was really weird, I was playing NHL 21 yesterday, and they have this mode called Threes, and when you're playing on your own, not like against AIs, you go through this circuit where you have to face like basically the 3 best players on each team in the league. And if you play on like the highest difficulty, you can unlock like their mascot to put on your team or like some of their legendary players. So I unlocked Patrick Waugh, and I put my team in Red Wings jerseys just so he would sit back there and be punished.
He deserves it.
Oh, man. One of the best to ever play the game, but God, I hate that guy.
Yeah, I've also heard he's kind of a maniac. Like when he was coaching, he was just kind of...
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Kind of a maniac. I think he ended up being another one of those coaches where like, just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach. Just
no, you're right.
Not very many coaches were good players if they played in the NHL at all. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
Just because you're good doesn't mean you can show others how to do it as well.
Right. Like, yeah, coaching and playing are two very different skill sets often. And sometimes there are players that they understand coaching too when they're, afterwards. But, it doesn't, I mean, it seems like Gerard Gallant might be, because he played with Yzerman, didn't he?
He did. They were line mates.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he can. Seems like he can do it. This is what I don't understand with Blashill still being coach is like there was a point in time where there was no one on the market.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, there is like literally no one else.
Oh, we've talked about it.
Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, I guess
no
we're
one
stuck.
decent to take.
That time has passed. There are like what? I mean, two off the top of my Claude Julien now as of today and Gerard Gallant, two off the top of my head, and I think I'm definitely forgetting of more. That are on the market still, and I just don't I really don't understand it.
And remember, for the longest time, Joel Quenneville was free.
Yeah, he was for a while too
between Chicago and Florida
snapped him up. I don't think he would have come here anyways because, he's not getting any younger, and
but he also went to Florida, who wasn't, other than Barkov, they weren't doing anything before he got there.
I think they should. You know what though? We don't know what he saw, like what their pitch was.
Right.
And they might have been able to pitch him what's happening right now. Of like, look, next season, might be able to do a little bit. We're probably not going to be cup contenders. But the season after.
Yeah.
Look at what we got coming down the pipe. We got this draft pick. Like, it's going to be on and popping. And he might have been like, all right, yeah, sure. Like, an easy,
we'll give it a whirl.
They're 2 years out from real contention. Whereas the Red Wings, it's like, we might make it back in the playoffs in the next 5 years, maybe. It's like, well,
isn't it crazy how, like, I don't know about you, before the season started, I was very hopeful. I still thought Blashill was going to be a trash can. Isn't it just crazy how I was like, maybe we're like a year or two away, and now I'm like,
more
we
hopeful.
Might never see it.
Oh, I know, right? I'm like, the feelings I have about the Lions are like starting to spill over a bit.
No, we're not that bad. We're not that bad.
No, I know, but it's like every now and then I'm just like, I know what this hopelessness is because
You're right.
I experienced it with the Lions, and like every now and then on bad days and after really horrific games, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna be like older. By the time we're back, I'll be like thinking about when I was young. I'm like,
that's what I've been thinking. I'm like, the Red Wings are not going to be great until I eventually have kids and they were my age when they were great.
And then like all the stories that you heard from like your parents right before you were born about the Wings and how it was really rough.
Yeah.
And you were like, wow, I'm glad that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
It's happening right now.
Oh my God. It does go to show though, like, yeah, in a way that is how the league works and how it's evolved over the years. But at the same time, like, dude, we were blessed.
Yeah, it's a run that
was
like very few other franchises in history have put together.
I know people argue it, but
really
I say straight up dynasty. Like,
for sure, I would say like kind of the only modern comparables are like the Patriots probably,
and they're probably the extreme.
Yeah, and that's the extreme, right? Like that, But I mean, even bad. Like I guess the Yankees kind of.
Yeah.
For a while, but then like lately, not really.
The 0-2 Red Wings were the NHL's Yankees. Like we bought that team. We bought that Stanley Cup.
They did, and I think any Red Wings fan that doesn't admit that is like a liar or delusional.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we 100% bought it, and honestly, I think we probably put together maybe the best hockey team outside of like an all-star game.
Or inside of one.
Or I don't know, man. Yeah,
disgusting.
It was
really. I was like I said, watching that Game 7 the other day, I was just like
Hall of Famers.
Oh, at least
maybe 11. Like it had a lot. It was an ignorant number of Hall of Famers on that team.
Hall of Famers, 2002 Red Wings. Let's see if Google can do some magic. 9.
And that's like, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that team was just, that team was silly. The poor Carolina Hurricanes that year, they didn't stand a chance. I think they won a game in that final series. I don't think we swept them, but I think it was in 5.
Did they win one and then we won the next 4? I don't remember.
No, I thought it was we won 2, they won 1, and then we won 2. I thought we just
Arthur's Urbe.
Yeah.
Poor dude.
Ray Whitney.
Just getting pummeled.
Just not having a good time. I think, is he a Hall of Famer? He might be.
Probably should be.
If not, like, he was a great hockey player in his own right. Just
who it still bugs me, and some people think he doesn't deserve to be in there, and it bugs me that he is not a part of the Hall of Fame. Chris Osgood.
I know.
I think Chris Osgood, he is the little goalie that could. And he still looks like he's 12.
Yeah, he's aging very well.
Yeah.
If I could age like Chris Osgood, that would be great. I doubt it because I was not a professional athlete.
And we both already look worse than him.
Yeah, and I'm already, and we're so much younger. But he was the little goalie that could. He was, he's scrappy. He got it done. There's an argument there. I don't know if it's the strongest in the world, but numbers wise is where he gets a little weak. Like his numbers overall weren't great, but he was a part of. I mean, he did get kind of lucky where he was on some teams that just could get the job done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I'm really excited for is apparently on Thursday tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be part of the pregame or postgame. They said Mike Vernon's going to be on the FSD set with them.
Oh, that would be cool.
Seeing the two of them interact will be really cool to see, just as a lifelong fan. Mike Vernon was my first favorite hockey player.
I mean, he was a good goalie.
He was disgusting.
I don't think he got as much credit as he deserved either.
I mean, he did get a Conn Smythe.
Okay, that's true. He did. Yeah, he did get a Conn. I mean, in like in the fandom, like in the ether of.
One of my favorite things to do at Red Wings games is LCA is to go around the concourse, and his mask is in one of the cases.
Yeah, and it should be, but I still feel like, you ask kind of the average person about like Red Wings players, like they're probably not gonna say Mike Vernon, and even some people who do pay attention, like Red Wings goalies, they're gonna be like Osgood, be like right, and they'll be like Hasek, and they'll be like and they'll be like Mike Vernon, like, oh yeah, him.
Part of it is he wasn't here long either. He also wasn't here long. So
no, he wasn't. He played for. Didn't he play for St. Louis for a little bit, or was that Osgood?
That was Osgood with St. Louis and New York. Vernon was traded after we won the Cup to San Jose, and then wrapped his career back up in Calgary.
Yeah,
I don't know why I know this. I mean, I should know the trade. I don't know why I know he finished off in Calgary, but who was your first favorite Red Wing player?
Oh, my first favorite was who I have on right now that I can't. Let's see. Fedorov.
Dude.
I don't
know why you're wearing that.
Oh, God.
Jersey belongs hanging up on your ceiling in the rafters.
Dude, it does. I take real good care of it, though.
You think it'll happen?
Why am I? It should. I don't know. Why is my camera doing this?
I don't know. I think you look better.
Yeah, that's fine. I really don't know why it's doing this though.
Yeah, you backed out of focus. Who knows?
Oh well. Yeah, no, I loved Fedorov. He was he was just so much like as a kid too. Like, your attention span is like non-existent. So like, watching Fedorov play was exciting. Because he was just like. He's like before there was Datsuk, there was Fedorov. He could score and he would just dance through people. And if he had the puck on a breakaway, you were like, it's going in, and it always did. Like every time, you're like, that's a goal. Cool. We're up by 1, and then sure enough, boom. Like, goalie stood no chance.
Do you think they retire his jersey?
They had to suck, right? What?
Do you think they retire his jersey?
I hope so. I don't know.
I really hope so. And part of it's difficult because the Red Wings already have so many jerseys retired, but at the same time, no one has worn 91 anyways. Like, They haven't let it happen.
No, but they
it's
won't
just
retire
not official.
I know. It's kind of. They're not being great about it. I don't know why. There could be some weird.
I don't know who makes the decision either. I don't know if that's an Illich thing or if that's an Yzerman thing. I'm assuming that it starts with the owners, and a lot of it's just with how he went out.
Right. I think, and the fans I know have voiced support. I think if there was like a big push as we go along here, I bet it would happen,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Especially the old man's gone.
Yeah.
I think though there might be still some old dudes in management that have been around since forever, and just they're just, for whatever reason, they're just like, oh, we should,
Yeah.
Maybe if those guys go, then and the fans are like, you guys really need to do this now. It'll happen. But
did you catch Mickey's story during the post game the other night?
Probably not.
I thought it was really cool.
I was so discouraged. I just got the game off.
I always leave it on because I want to see Blashill embarrass himself in front of the press every time.
I don't. It's just because I don't want to be mad. I'm gonna be mad because he's gonna be like,
I'm already mad.
What happened? I'm gonna be like, oh, you don't know what happened, Blashill, Jeff? Like, you're the coach of this team and you don't know what happened?
Right. They're playing well. He literally said that the other night. Like, they're doing things right.
Right. They just got lit up like 7-2. I was like, are they? We're doing everything right. I'm just like, no. Wait, okay.
But no, Mickey was talking about how they played in the alumni game before the Winter Classic, and how he was talking with Yzerman. They showed Mickey set up Fedorov. Mickey set up Fedorov from the corner.
Mickey's
and he
still
scored. He's
like
always
way better than you would think he is for his age.
But he was saying how
old man now, and on the ice for all the last 2 alumni games, I'm like,
yep. He was saying how Fedorov was worried about stepping out on the ice and going to the game because he thought the city was still going to be really upset with him over everything. No. And they got that goal, and he said that Fedorov was smiling so much, and it was like, even Mickey was like, it was the coolest. Mickey Redmond, like Hall of Famer, Cup winner, like he was like, it was the coolest thing getting to be on the ice with Sergei Fedorov. Like, I'm like,
yeah. I know, and that could be part of it too. Is like Fedorov just thinks like the city hates him. Like, no, dude, you're actually there might have been some people that were really loud when he left that were mad. Really, it wasn't because they were mad; they were hurt. They felt betrayed. But that is gone. I don't know anybody. I don't know any Red Wings fan that's like, screw Fedorov. I don't know anybody. Everyone's just like, dude, Fedorov is amazing.
Back then, I know a lot of people were mad, but I think we got over it real quick.
I was sad. Like, I remember being a kid, like he left, and I was like, man, no. But like, it's because I still wanted him on the team.
Right.
I wasn't just like, F you. I was just like, that's okay. I'll always love you.
Oh man. And then right when you say I'm ready to be hurt again.
Yes.
We've been hurt.
Oh man, dude. It's we're gluttons for punishment. That's for sure lately.
Anything else Red Wings related you want to talk about? Adam Ernie sucks.
I don't know.
Do we need to have
He's
that conversation?
He's another one I'd like. I'd rather see Svechnikov up there, even though I don't think he's going to pan out. I'd still rather see him up there than
I have given up on Svechnikov. I know a lot of people.
I have too.
People are
I would
still
still
hopeful,
rather see
but
him in there than Adam Ernie because it's just like there's more of a chance that Svechnikov could be a good player than Adam Ernie. Like Adam Ernie, he is what he is, and what he is not anything I want on the team.
No,
it's not.
No,
all his goals seem to be mistakes.
Yeah, like he plays like a freaking donkey 90% of the time, and then all of a sudden he blows through all 5 players on the opposing team and scores.
Well, yeah, or he'll do something like so dumb the other team doesn't know how to react, and then it ends up in the net.
Like, like yesterday, which somehow got called back. God.
Yeah, he's just dead weight, just like,
He's a restricted free agent next year. I don't remember how all the RFA rules work, but I think if we can help it, we're not going to have him.
Sorry, the wind blew, and of course the dogs are freaking out because they're,
of course,
they got to bark.
I sent you that video yesterday, right, of Kate barking at a snowman.
Yeah.
she never barks, and she's like, that snowman is going to kill us.
Dude. She was like, you see this thing? But we need to get out of here.
We walked by today, and it was just gone because it finally had like a day and a half of warm weather. By warm weather, I mean it hit like 48, maybe
52, I think.
Oh, did it? Nice.
Yeah, it's 42 right now, which is pretty warm for late, man.
So other RFAs that we have, other than Ernie, who I don't think we see again. Juice.
He might come back.
Yep.
We'll see how his season goes, but he's been
Bertuzzi again.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Yep. Brome, which a lot of people are torn on. I am okay with him so far.
I like him. He's like the only person who has any fight in him. He's had like a billion chances to score, and they somehow haven't. Like I was almost like, is there a conspiracy to not let him score a goal? Did he like tweet something bad about all of the referees? I don't know. Like,
the other ones,
just, honestly,
Svech, and I don't think it happens.
He's gone. He's not going to get. If he has to get signed, it's just going to be like, good luck.
Yep.
Good luck,
then
kid.
Finally,
wish we had your brother.
He's not having as good a year as he has been the last couple, but they're gonna pay Hronek.
Yeah, I think so.
They're gonna pay the man.
He was. I don't know if he still is, but he was tied for the team lead in points. He had 9 points, and so did Mantha and Larkin.
That's impressive as a defenseman.
Tsar? Yeah, it's really weird. And defensively, he's been okay. He's been really good offensively as a defenseman. I mean, and obviously because at last I checked, he had 9 points. He could have more. I don't know, but defensively, I don't even think it's necessarily his fault either, because he's been out of line with like DeKaiser, and he has been a liability. You can tell he's just not better.
Dude,
which
best part about
back
doing
surgery sucks, but
best part about doing this podcast on video now. Look at how happy your dog looks.
Oh yeah,
he's so happy.
He's so well. They're kind of driving me nuts. Brittany's just. I don't think people can hear him, but he's just like boofing out in the. And I tried to take him out twice, and he just like ran away from me. So I don't know what his deal is right now.
What's the one nice thing about being able to do on Discord
something.
too? Is Discord is good at muffling sounds if you have it set up that way.
Yeah, it's real. It's a lot better than like audio only with the hottest mics in the world.
Yeah, it feels like every Zoom meeting ever.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about things going on in the rest of the league.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I know everyone's been talking about the Panarin stuff, which is
I have that on my notes.
I saw that.
That's scary.
And I don't know what your take is, because we talked about it, but we didn't talk about it. And I was talking with some of our other friends about it in a group chat.
Yeah.
And we were all in agreement that it's funny that these allegations did not come out until after he tweeted his support for the Russian opposition leader.
Yep.
Who was recently sent to Siberia for being the opposition leader.
Yep.
For not being Vladimir Putin. And so I was just like, this is the Russian hit piece. Like, they're just trying to, like...
It's definitely what it seems like. And for those who aren't in the know or haven't been paying attention or haven't heard, there's an accusation from one of his former coaches, it sounds like, in Russia, that he had assaulted an 18-year-old girl. But I think it just goes to show how scary Russia can be.
Oh, sure.
Like, and how not much has changed in Russia even since way back in the day when we basically had to kidnap and bribe players just to be here.
Well, I mean, not to stray too far away from hockey, but, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, it's not like all the people who were in charge of it just, like, they didn't go to, like, it wasn't like when we beat, the Nazis were defeated in World War II.
Right.
They were defeated in war, and then they were, like, arrested because they lost a war. The Soviet Union collapsed. It just collapsed. That's all. Yep. And, like, everyone in charge of all the bad parts of it are still there. Like, there was no one who was like, you guys did bad, now away with you. No, they're still there. I mean, Putin himself was in the KGB. He's very much an old Soviet.
Oh yeah.
And he, like, tries to run run the country like one as much as he can, at least much as he can get away with. And I think this is part of it. But there's reports on on our hockey right now, which I think I like our hockey. It's probably one of my favorite subreddits, if I'm honest.
It's fair.
Yeah,
never gotten big into Reddit.
There's a report that Latvian authorities, there hasn't been a report filed alleging Panarin assault, nor has there ever been a court case, as opposed to reports that there has been such case and that police were involved on the scene. So basically, the allegations that were made have been refuted by.
Right, and I mean, if it did happen,
that were there.
If it did happen, I do hope that some evidence comes to light and that he deals with whatever he has to deal with, because that's not okay.
If it happened, it's terrible, but it really
doesn't seem likely.
No, there is. It's just a hit piece. It's like a true, like, Russian hit piece.
But this is the kind of thing that, like, makes, like, me wonder, like, is the situation crazy enough to where he could end up dead?
I don't think so. And this could be kind of like a warning shot,
Yeah.
Because, like, that's the thing is, Russia will, like, if you're a Russian kind of abroad and you're famous for something and, like, liked, like an athlete or a movie, like, if you make the motherland look good, that they want that to happen. Like, they that's what they want. They're like, yeah, great, you're Russian and you make us look good, excellent.
Yeah.
Now if you're Russian and you start running your mouth, well, I think that this could be just like the FSS going, hey, why don't you tighten that Twitter down?
Jeez.
Shut up. Here, drink this tea. Don't do it, Panarin.
Yeah, it's just a messy situation that makes me wonder how long he's going to be gone from New York.
I don't know, and it was so sudden. I almost, like, part of me almost wonders if, like, U.S. intelligence got involved. This is kind of back to Kevin's tin hat theory corner, but it just was weird how he was just like, he's taking leave of absence of, like, immediately.
I did find it interesting that the Rangers were just like, no. Like their statement was straight up just like, no BS. Like this, they said this is because he spoke out.
Yeah, they were like, no, this is like, he voiced an opinion and Russia didn't like that, and we're, yeah. Yeah, his sudden leave of absence. I don't know. I could maybe, I could see just, like U.S. intelligence being like, hey, bud, we don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. Or maybe there was a threat that was found. Like there was something more sinister plotted, and it'll be interesting in like down the road.
Oh, for sure.
What happens with this? And I think is actually going to be more interesting, just because it's so weird right now that there's got to be something to it, and it's So I think he's, I don't think he assaulted someone. I think the story was fabricated to try and. I think it seems like a warning of like, hey, keep your mouth shut. We'll try and like ruin your career or something. Mm-hmm. But you know what the next step is if you keep running your mouth on Twitter, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. What do you think about the new divisions? Obviously, this isn't something that'll stick around.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it so far?
Absolutely brutal for the Red Wings. This division.
It's like, hey, you want to catch a break?
Before the season started, I was like, we don't stand a chance.
Oh, no, not at all. It's like our record would be better if we got to play some other teams in the league, without a doubt.
1,000%. But I saw that, I'm like, and we only get to play these teams? I was like, this is
it's stupid bad.
This isn't going to go well for us, and sure enough, I don't hate them, because I think it's kind of good to like shake up the divisions every so often, maybe every 5-10 years. Just shift teams around. It's kind of fun. It is fun. Like we play Chicago.
That's my favorite part about all of it. We get to play Chicago again.
Yeah, so. I mean, we keep losing to them, but we get to play them. It's fun. So. We'll see. I don't like the no one. I don't think anybody does. But I know they have to be sponsored because they need to kind of recoup some money. But the sponsors too. I don't want. It's on the helmets. And I'm just like, I just hope this doesn't open the door to the European jerseys that are all decked out in sponsorships.
God, I hope not. I will say, I think the Red Wings. That's one thing they did the best was handling the helmet sponsorships. They kept
it's not very. It's not very noticeable.
Yep, they said we're using our colors. Like it's not like a big flat fat Ford symbol like Nashville had. I think it was. Like it's just keeping it simple, very very minuscule, and it's just going to kind of be there and accented on our helmets. So
right,
some
it's
of
not
them look
noticeable.
rough. Like someone has a Bridgestone one, I think.
And yeah, it's fine. Like, I guess I just hope it goes away. I don't know if it will, but I hope it
I doubt it will. I think it's.
I know. I think it's here. I think it's here to stay. If people keep paying money for it, money's hard to turn away. People don't like to turn it away, and I mean,
especially now that fans, pretty much for the whole season, aren't going to be able to be in buildings. They're going to be like, well, we thought maybe they'd get in there eventually, so we're going to keep recouping this money, and then it's just going to be normal. And
I wonder if they're like, well, what if this happens again? Because that's the world we live in.
Well, you know what's really going to happen is we're going to be 50 or 60 years old, and we're going to be telling our kids and grandkids back in our day they didn't do this, and we're just going to be the cranky old people.
That's fine. I'm already a cranky old person, so I'll just lean into it. I'm 100% like the kids that live on our street drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even 30, and I hate these little kids that are just running around.
Are they just kids doing kid stuff?
Yeah, mostly.
Come on, man.
I just hate it. I'm just like, stop.
No, walk out there, bring him a hockey stick. Do some street hockey with him.
I can't. He's too mad. I would just start like shooting pucks at him. Be like, get better. Like, ow. Be like, shut up.
What else happened around the league? Like we said, Claude Julien was fired. He was supposed to be contracted through next season. He was at $5 million per season. They also got rid of Kirk Muller, which was their interim coach. Once because Claude Julien was hospitalized in the bubble, had a heart procedure.
Yeah.
So Kirk Muller ran through the bubble with the Habs. They replaced him with. I'm gonna butcher this name. Dominic. It's like Dominic, but the French version. Ducharme. I don't know.
This is a good. This is a good segment.
This is quality content.
The boys try and say French Canadian names. It's probably like Dominique Ducharme.
Yeah.
If it's French Canadian, like it's just French it up.
And they added Alex Burrows to the coaching staff though. That's an easy one to can't mess that one up.
that one we got. Yeah. Weird.
Yep.
Burrows, like, he hasn't been out of the NHL that long, has he?
I didn't think so either because
he was one who I had on fantasy
for a few years.
I've seen him on like fantasy rosters before. Like he can't be that far removed from the NHL. I mean, whatever.
Happened? Oh, the Vegas goaltending situation. I mean, as a Vegas fan, I am just interested in talking about that drama because Leonard came in and they basically gave Fleury the screw job during the bubble. And now Fleury's been outperforming him, and now Leonard's hurt. Like, thank God they didn't get rid of one of them. Thank God they didn't get rid of Fleury. Fleury has the most shutouts in the league at 3, tied with Gibson and Varlamov, sorry.
Fleury, he really just amazes me, like he's still good.
I love that, like during the outdoor game at Lake Tahoe.
Like, those are good numbers.
Oh yeah. He was 1.55
sub 2 goals against average,
0.942 save percentage, 8-3-0.
Right, in 11 games, which is not nothing. It's not like, well, he only played 3 games. It's like, no, like he's played more than 10.
Yep. So, but I really think, like at the Lake Tahoe game, like in the first period, there was a 5-on-3. Vegas took 2 dumb penalties, and man, Fleury was just blocking shot after shot after shot, and every single time between plays while they're setting up for the face-off, you just look at Marc-Andre Fleury and he's just smiling.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be the most high pressure situation you can get yourself in. And he's just having the time of his life.
Well, I think too, like there is not a lot of pressure on him. Probably personally is like he's won Stanley Cups. He did almost everything you can do as a goalie in Pittsburgh already by the time he got to Vegas.
That's true.
So like he's just having fun there, because there's
one city to have fun in.
Right, but right, I mean, I just think for him, like they pick the right goalie in that.
I wonder if
draft.
Because I can't imagine Vegas protects them both.
Oh no! Like what if he ends up on?
I don't remember exactly what the rules are, but and I believe he has come out and said he would like to finish his career in Pittsburgh, but who knows if that'll happen? I know Pittsburgh's fans would love for him to. But
yeah, and they're about to be. They might end up having to do something like that anyways because they're
going to be in a rough spot within a couple years.
I was listening to someone talk about their cap troubles. They're in trouble. Someone else there.
Yeah, who
not in a good way
should also be in trouble, but they're making it work and they're having a good year. And I hate to say it, Toronto.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good team. They just they have the talent.
Austin Matthews finally popped off.
Yes.
I think
lights out.
I do wonder if part of it is just because of the divisional situation we're in, where they're only playing Canadian teams. Like, I have a feeling that, like, even if they do make it through the first couple rounds, and then they have to play against a Tampa or a Florida or a Carolina, I think they're toast.
Yeah, I will say,
even though
I
they
do
look
think
really good on paper right now.
I do think, like, all my Cup favorites would be from the Wings division.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a brutal division. It's just a really brutal division. And they only play each other.
Yeah.
So, but it might be a weird. I think it's going to be a weird playoffs no matter what, though, because these teams haven't played each other outside of their division, so, like, they haven't even seen what these guys are doing.
And they won't
now.
until
like,
round 3 of the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that really could be bizarre. I think it's. I wouldn't know who to really put money on, because I'm like, really, sure. Like, Tampa could look like a juggernaut again, or Florida or Carolina.
I felt this way last year. I'm still going to be surprised if it isn't, if one of the last two teams on the West side. I don't remember exactly how the playoffs are working. Oh wait, they would have to eliminate each other early. Vegas and Colorado. I think one of those two teams, whichever one makes it through, has the best chance of making it far. Both those teams, especially watching them play 4 games in a row.
Those teams are killers.
They're so fun to watch. Both of them.
They're so fast.
Yeah.
They are so fast. I'm, like, kind of glad the Red Wings aren't going to have to play them this season, because we're not making the playoffs.
Oh, honestly. Yeah. That'd be embarrassing.
We're not going to have to play them this season, just because we would really, truly, like, the few games we would play against those teams, we would probably get embarrassed this year. They're just so fast. I would love for Detroit to get there. One day.
Last thing I have on, like, our outside of Red Wings news, which I guess is kind of Red Wings news because it's a former coach, Mike Babcock. He was obviously an idiot.
Yeah.
When he was with Toronto. He got handed a job with NBC Sports as an analyst, which I don't know if you saw him. He was not great at.
No, it was, like, weird too. He was like, I don't know why. What happened?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like, if he just would have been like, yeah, I would do things differently now, and
right. Well, now
it's a tough job that I let certain aspects get away from me.
Now the media is glorifying him because he got this job as a volunteer coach at University of Saskatchewan or whatnot. But, like, I don't know. I'm just frustrated because, like, I feel like he hasn't really served his penance for kind of being a bit of an ass. And then he gets handed that job at NBC that, like, people work their whole lives for.
Oh yeah, media is a field. There are, like, sports casting and all that stuff. Like, that's its own field.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, to just be working towards that for forever, and then it's like Mike Babcock gets a spot instead of someone else because of he was a coach. It's like, yeah, a coach and kind of a maniac, and, like, I don't know. Again, it's like not all players are good coaches, and a lot of coaches weren't good players. And also, just because you're a coach, why are you going to be good on TV in studio about a sport? Like, come on. I don't know. I think they're shutting down NBC Sports after this.
Yes, I don't think they're even making it through this season.
Yeah,
so I'm interested in what's going to. I'm assuming everything's just moving over to Peacock.
Probably, yeah.
So
yeah, like I don't think they're gonna ditch their sports. I think they're just trying to move it to their streaming platform, which is annoying. And time is a flat circle. We're just gonna end up with these boxes that connect to all the streaming services. Which,
yep.
If you can explain to me how that's different to cable, I would love to hear it.
Oh yeah, well,
because you don't have to subscribe to all of them. You can pick and choose. I'm like, yeah. No,
I think eventually we're gonna end up at a point where
there's gonna be
40. I don't think it'll get that big. I think there are streaming services that are going to fall by the wayside because other services are pouring more into their product and they're going to put out better shows, and
for sure
they're not going to get other companies aren't going to have enough subscribers to hang on. We're probably going to see a lot of eventual like mergers.
Yeah, like you'll probably see like Netflix gobble up some because people are trying to go after them and they're still doing just fine.
Oh yeah.
People are like, oh, they're not profitable yet. I'm like, no, they are. They're profitable now.
Do, and this is not hockey related at all, but while we're on the topic, you know who doesn't do streaming that well? Amazon.
They don't. They have a couple things that are good, but for the most part, I'm just like, eh.
Right. And like I get it because I get Prime, but I use Prime.
You know where I don't like is that they don't have their Prime Video app isn't just. I think this is the problem too. When you go into it, it's not like everything you see in front of you can watch.
No, you have to pay for some things, or
you have to pay for some things because they sell stuff.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like if people went on Netflix and Netflix now was like, see all these things, and you're like, yeah, you're like, you have to pay for some of them. You have to rent some of them. People would be like, dude, I'm out. This is dumb. Like people would not like it. Like that would sink Netflix in a day.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, Prime Video hasn't gained traction. Because like there's been times where I've been on Prime Video, I'm like, oh, cool, that's on here, and then I go to watch it, it's like it's $2.99. You still want to do it? I'm like, why are you like this?
Right.
It's like, well, no, I don't. I guess I'll wait for that to come on another streaming service.
So before we head off, and close this out, looking ahead at the next week of games between now and the next time we're back. Tomorrow against Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Wings keep up their tradition of at least splitting series when they get completely outplayed in the first game.
And if we lose, can we lose like 5-4?
Yeah.
That's it. The games where there's like only a goal, 0 or 1 or 2 goals scored, it's somehow worse than losing like 6-5.
Oh, it looks like everyone's just flopping around on the ice and nothing's happening.
I know. I'm just like what did I just
play? It would be cool if there was like if the score was that low and there were chances.
Right.
But there aren't many chances. Then Saturday and Sunday we have a back-to-back at Chicago.
Yeah, back-to-back. We haven't really had a lot of those this season.
Not yet. We've had a couple.
We've had a couple.
But it's interesting that they're always the same
team,
and it's always the same arena. It adds a little difference to it this year.
Yeah, that was probably done on purpose. So yeah, that'll be nice. Chicago, they're good though. But I just would love. Can we just not lose every game to them this season?
Right.
Please.
And then next Tuesday, we're gonna probably get demoralized by Columbus and John Tortorella.
Probably. I feel like we haven't played Columbus in forever.
We haven't.
Like I feel like we played them like the first 2 games of the season, and then we haven't. It's like
pretty much.
Great.
So.
Well, lots to look forward to.
It's gonna be interesting. Anything else you want to add in today?
I think that's all for me.
That's all I've got too. We're gonna, I think, keep trying this out for the next several weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Wednesdays at 6. You can still. I'm gonna convert everything to a video or to a audio file. Crop out some of the nonsense at the beginning, and still make sure that this is available wherever you get your podcasts. If that's how you want to consume your media.
Oh, you'll put it up on YouTube or no?
Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube too. And,
on YouTube, yeah, that'd be great.
And then it'll be on demand on the Twitch channel for I think 2 months. But
Cool.
We'll put it on YouTube, and yeah, sounds like a plan. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see y'all next week.
And, until next time.
Later.